Hello, Akko here again. Welcome to episode 54 of my FTB Ultimate Let's Play. Now, it's night time. If you look here, I've changed a few things around again. I've made some of the guardrails that I use quite often. You might have seen these on my videos on the other server. I made the portals a little bit nicer with some iron covers and such like. What I did, I was trying out these lights. These are red power inverted lamps. And I thought I might do the full factory with them, but I noticed after I'd done that corner, it's pretty dark in there, and if I was to take my helmet off and press F7, which shows you where mobs can spawn, like outside, look at that, that's actually not light enough in there to keep mobs from spawning. So, I've not seen anything spawning here, but technically that's dark enough for spawn to happen. That's a bit dangerous, so I'm going to go back to the RAF lamps. RAF lamps light things up so well that I think they're quite hard to go against them for the light of choice. I'm just not sure if that's what was causing the lag or not. But I'm going to sleep just to make sure nothing does spawn there. Blow my shit up, because no one wants the shit blowing up, do they? So let's turn F7 back off, put my helmet back on, and off camera I shall probably put that back. I changed a couple of things round. I don't know if I mentioned it in yesterday's video, I think I did. I've been into the Greg Tech config after reading a post on the FTB forums and disabled the animations Greg Tech, so that's going wrong pretty slow. And it seems to be working a bit. My frame rate does certainly seem a bit better. It's still pretty low when I've got fraps on, but it certainly seems better than it was, so that might have had quite a good positive impact, I think. What do you reckon? Does it look bad still? Who knows? A couple of comments. A couple of people have said that yes, update Greg Tech. I'm going to wait until at least tomorrow, so that video that I've asked that question has been out for a good 24 hours. Another couple of comments on that one. One is Kevin thinks that chestnuts drop on their own. They don't seem to be. I've been watching this tree. I've not seen nothing on the floor. So these are all ripe, I guess. Is ripe the right word? Ripe chestnuts. These ones are ripe walnuts, and you can see there where I've cut a couple of leaves out, they've not grown back. I think I took a leaf out on there and there, and they haven't grown back either, so I'm not really sure how these work. And I also mentioned that you can use mulch. I'm pretty sure the new, I need to check this, I'm going to check the wiki, but I think the new version, the version 2 of forestry and later, I think you need to have appetite. I think Sengi's done it so that the new style farms or the multi-block farms, I think they all need appetite. I don't think they can run off mulch, but I will check that, I'm not 100% sure. So what have I been doing? Well, I'm just going to eat that. I do need something to make, because if you look at this, it's getting a bit silly. I've got nearly 4,000 iridium nuggets there. So I've got a hell of a lot, I mean, even in here. Let's look at... I've got 19 iridium plates made. I've got a whole shit ton of nuggets. That's just because my bees are working away merrily. I've not had no string for a good few hours, and there's still 300 in there. That's round with impregnated sticks. I actually need to get some string pretty soon. And that's all off these two. Well, these 12 reeds have got the 9 frames in each, and this one's got a valuable bit. No, I've got another valuable bee somewhere. That one's got no frames in it because I've not connected it. So that's pretty much 2 framed up and 1 not framed bees is produced all them nuggets since I last made anything. Quite bizarre. And I've got like nearly 2,000 UU out of there as well, so I probably will update the Greg Tech. I'm just going to give it another day, see if anyone's really against it. The reason why I wanted to ask you guys is because I've purposely kept the pack. This is the ultimate version 1.0.1 that you get off the launcher. I've not touched anything. I'm not taking anything out, because I want it so that when I download the world, when I upload the world, so you can download it, that you don't have to mess around. You can just get the straight downloaded pack off the launcher without having to mess around with the configs. That said, though, a couple of days ago I did disable all the voxel stuff apart from the map, but that shouldn't make a difference to anyone else coming on the world. That should all be client side stuff, I think. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, right, this episode I'm going to start. Now I've had a little bit of a go up here, and I've been looking at a couple of videos of frame machines. Now, the first thing I've got to say about this is I'm not sure if the crystal core from Thaumcraft, I'm not sure if it'll even move right, because it's kind of like a multi-block structure, so I'm not even 100% sure it'll move correctly on a frame rig. But I've been looking, I saw the solar panel there to get some power into that one. What I've got to now is something that doesn't really work. I've done it the wrong way. So I'm not really good with these things. Don't want to be that way. It does want to be that way, but that hasn't took that with it, so I've cocked up there somehow. So I need things to go that way now. Oh, this is a nightmare. So I was trying it with that thing, and that's not working very well either. That should be pushing that one, and that should be pulling it back, but that's in the wrong place. I think that's the ones on this side run out of power. But, I've looked at a guy's video, a guy who could do with some more subs actually. His name is Redstone Sparky, and he's got a really nice video on one of these 6-axis. They're called 6-axis, but they're not really, are they? They're 3-axis, but 6 direction, I think is a better way of putting it. 6 direction frame motor. So these are the first 2 directions, and I think that one needs to be that way. So them 2 arrow things are pointing in. So I think they're pointing towards the back, them 2 arrow things. So I want this cog pointing in the direction. If them panels weren't there, you'd see that there'd be an arrow pointing that way off that one, and that way off that one. So now, in theory, the problem is the electricity doesn't seem to be sharing between these. See, the front of them's not lit up. See the blue bits there, and these ones are lit up because these are getting power. So these are sharing power from this back box, and this side doesn't seem to be getting power at all. So I'm not really sure how you're meant to power these guys up. So if I do that, see, I'd have to break the to get power, I'd have to break the back box. So I have another back box on this side. That's what it doesn't actually show on his videos too well, how they're getting power. But when that solar panel there kicks in, you should see that light up. I could of course make another battery box, but basically you have 2 motors. So this will be doing the east and the west. Then above that you have 2 that do the north and the south. On the other side you have that one that does up and one that does down, and one that does up. So basically it's like a little modular structure. Each one needs 4 frames, 2 motors. That there's a panel. The one under there's a cover, and that one's a panel. So you've got 2 panels and a cover. And it should add up all together. And the way he's done it is with bundled cable and Red Power 2 computer. But I don't want to use a Red Power 2 computer. I was hoping I could do it using these guys, wireless receivers, transmitters. So you see they're lit up now because they're getting power from that. I was not sure what's going to happen. Yeah, look, it popped the solar panel off. But that's gone a bit and then it stopped. So it's trying to push. This one's not pulling back. Yeah, so I don't really know what's happening with that. So that was going to be the episode, but I think I need to do quite a bit of... I think I actually probably need to build one off camera first, just so I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to have a little play around with this off camera and see if I can get something that actually works without stopping, because that obviously is no good. It went a couple of times. What happened there is that engine with the arrow pushed this block that way, and now what should happen is, because this block should now be getting power. See if I turn that back on. Because this block's getting power, it should push the whole frame that way, because that's which way this arrow should be. This arrow should be pointing outwards, so it should grip onto that frame there. It should pull the full thing that way, but it doesn't seem to be working. I would like it to. So yeah, I'm going to turn the camera off and have a bit of a play around with this and see what I can do. And I'm back, and I think it was a battery box on the back there that I'd not put a frame on. Pretty obvious mistake, really. What I'm going to do is I've got miles too many of these now, but what I'm going to do is just have one of these down here, just out the way a bit, with a couple of solar panels on either side. So I can use that to just keep charging some batteries up. I've left my batteries downstairs. Bugger. The simplest way of showing this is here we've got really simple. Press that. It should do 2 movements. So no, that was already on. Okay, so 1, 2, and turn it off again. Turn this one on. 1, 2, turn it off again. So that kind of works. So let's just double check, let's see if that works with the wireless. So for the wireless, because I actually need it to touch 2 directions, that's no good on its own, because it only faces 1 direction, like so. What I need to do is, firstly what I'm doing, I'm sending a pulse into this first, and then when this moves forward, it's sending a pulse through the side into this. So it needs to do 2 pulses. So that's set to 1 now. So in theory, there we go. So that should just keep going that way, as long as it's getting a pulse. And it should stay pretty smoothish. That's working, so we'll turn that off. But that's the only other problem. You need to make sure it turns off on its... So they end up like that, otherwise... If I started going this way now, with that one... If I'd have started going back east with that one still out there, it'd have left it behind. So I haven't quite sussed things out yet. I'm not sure if the pulse thing's working very well, to be honest. I should maybe send 1 longer pulse. So anyway, from here, another thing on the video that's really useful that the guy made is, I'm going to break this for a second. What he's done is, this one needs to, the framework needs to slide across. So this one is a cover, whereas these two, the framework doesn't need to slide across. So they are not covers, the panels. What the guy in the video did, that I watched, quite useful. He used an orange cover to indicate where he was, well, he used different colours. He used blue, green and red. Well, basically, if I put an orange cover everywhere where I plan for an engine to slide, a motor, so now if I put my motor down, that's a slide point. And the easy way to set this up is, basically I want that arrow facing that way, so turn it onto that way, but I want it to be on the bottom, so we do that by shift clicking. It'll flip the whole thing over, and now I know it's, nope, I put it in the wrong direction, that was bullshit. That's where I wanted it. Yeah. So if you could see through that cover there, then the arrow would be pointing that way. So, and then what he does is, wherever he's got where you need control, so in this case it's just a lever, where he puts control, then he uses a different colour one where his wires would go, and then he just uses whatever, like what I'm using, grey ones here for, just to cover all the sides up. Pretty much. So you can see at a glance where you need to have a switch and where you plan to have engine sliding, pretty much. So if I get rid of this one and that one, do the same on that side. So I want green panel there to indicate that I need a wire there, and I need an orange cover here to indicate that this is where a motor's going to slide across. I keep calling them engines. They're called frame motors, not engines. So I'll try and say motor, because it kind of makes a little bit more sense, but not a big deal. So place that, and then flip it over using shift right click, and then make sure it faces the right way. So I want that circle facing the way of travel, so there. So that's right now for that. But of course, because I just broke these two guys, these guys have got no power, look. So what I need to do is get this full battery box and just touch it next to them for a while. Let that charge up, like so. And of course I need to work out where to actually put these battery boxes. So I'm going to add a bit more to this. I am going to do it so that, for now, I'm just going to use levers, where just so I can move things backwards and forwards. I'm going to leave this bit off for now, and this bit. I'm going to put the north and the south in, and I'll probably come back once I put the north and the south ones in. We'll have a look at that. So back in a bit. Okay, we're back again, and I've done a little bit more. So now I've got 4 directions, and I've added a little bit of power into it. I've got a bat box on either side, battery box, with a solar panel power in it, and some blue alloy wire. So that's keeping all of these guys fully charged. I've maybe gone a bit overkill there. Some of these may share power, but they didn't seem to be doing it as well as I'd like them to. So now this guy sends us north, and that guy sends us west, this guy sends us east, and this guy sends us south. Oh, it's pushed me off, the bastard. So we're getting there, Now I just need to work out where I put the up and down on. Now the design I was looking at was it was higher, and it was it had like more levels higher up, whereas I'm trying to go a little bit different. I'm trying to do it so that rather than have height, I'm trying to have it so it's kind of like a flat square type shape. So I may even bring these across, possibly, and I'm going to try and do like a flat platform, and then have it like a missile boat kind of thing, or an aircraft carrier kind of shape. So I need to work out now what's all the up and down, and the up and down is going to need 2 levels. But I just need it so that it doesn't interact with the stuff that's already there. So I'm not sure where to put it yet, but I'm going to have a play around with that, and then I'll be back. I hope this makes sense up to now. So there's no covers on there that don't, apart from that one. There's no non-essential covers yet. So all the bottom and the sides are uncovered, but I would need to put covers on them for them to slide past stuff. Wherever I've got a green panel, that's where I need a switch or a wire eventually. And if you look underneath these, when something moves, wherever I've got an orange cover, wherever there's an orange cover is where the motor slides. So that's kind of starting to make a bit of sense. And because it's got its own power source on board, I don't have to mess around with batteries. I just need to make sure that if I had a floor above this, for example, I have to have like a glass floor above the solar panels, so that they work still. But yeah, I'm going to work out how to do the... I've got 4 more motors, one to send me up, one to send me down. Well, 2 to send me up, 2 to send me down. I'll be back when I've worked out where they want to go. Back in a bit. I'm back again, and now we've got 6 directions. Excellent. I'm not 100% happy with it. This is, I think, the minimum that I need for the way I've done it. So it's all on just 2 layers, which is what I was after. The control at the minute for the down is, I had it turned on, is there. So that sends it down. These wires here, they connect power to these motors when they're in their altered position. So that's the up one. So this should send us back up. And the full platform's moving together. So I've done something right. So south, and then east, and then west, and north. So everything's moving together. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Got to click the lever twice, is a bit awkward. But, so there we go. Basic platform sorted, and it's powering itself. It seems to be doing alright. Even though they're not showing, they're getting a little bit. But might need a couple more solar panels. That one's going up though. That one's only powering 1, 2, 3, 4 though, and this side's powering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Them 2 as well. See, the power line goes there. So this one is definitely doing a bit more work, so it might need another couple of solar panels. Not sure. So what do we do next? Well, next we make sure all the edges are sorted, and then I think it's just a case of putting a floor above this, and we can have that as our platform, and obviously working out a better way to do the movement controls. Now ideally I want to do that using receivers, and I kind of want to do it so that up on the top I want to see if I can do it with pressure plates, so that I stand on whichever direction I want to go. I mean, I have like a bit in the middle, and if I want to go that way, I'll stand that way. Obviously I want to be able to do it so I can set a direction going permanent as well, but I don't want to do any computer stuff. I could do computer stuff, but I'm trying to stay away from doing any kind of coding. So I want to kind of do it with in-game mechanics. I think up and down is going to need a button, I guess. But north, south, east and west I should be able to do with pressure plates, I think. Well, I'm going to have to build up another layer above this. So if I'm not sure, all these that slide, all these moving ones, these two here, I need to make sure that they don't connect to other frames. So obviously I'm going to put other frames like along the top of here. And how do the frames connect without getting dragged along, you know what I mean? So if I was to do this, for example, so that worked. So that motor didn't stick to that, which is good. Okay, I was expecting the motor to stick to the thing there, but it didn't, which is cool. So, and I can start putting my actual platform up on here, you see. So basically what I'm going to do now is kind of try and create a box around this that allows it free movement still, if you know what I mean. And I'm going to see what comes unstuck. So that's okay as well. And up to now that's okay, so I'm going to need some more frames, obviously. That's working alright up to now. I'm going to struggle a bit with space, aren't I? Fitting wires in. So I may have to do a bit of manoeuvring to get wires where I want them. It's a shame that I've got to send things two directions, because that means the wireless transmitters are going to struggle. So I'm kind of getting there, but I'm going to have to do a bit more working out. So again, I'm going to cut the camera again and try and work some more out. And after quite some time, I'm finally back. This was where the 6-directional motor was, frame motor. Now I've rebuilt it completely. I got it going up and down over here. I had down over there and up over there. At one point, which I should have probably filmed, I brought it down so low and it stuck to the roof of my factory there. When I took it back up, it pulled it all up with it. So I've learnt that lesson. I added an extra colour cover on. So it was the orange cover was where I was sliding from, and I made magenta panels to where I was sliding to. So I just didn't get. I did that so that I knew where my motors were going to be going to. So then I decided to rebuild completely, and I've done a different kind of design. Now I need these frames here, otherwise these solar panels pop off. But basically what it is, I can take that one off for a sec. Basically is I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 frame motors around a central battery box with a solar panel on it. So each one of these does a direction, so north, south, west and east. And then across this side I've got 2 there and 2 at the bottom. These 2 take us down, these 2 take us up. And I've got them all so they're using the wireless receivers. So you see underneath these motors, so this is the motor that's going to move, and the magenta panel is where it's going to move to. So if I should have made a remote control actually. Remotes, I would have made one of them. Wireless transceiver and a button, that's easy enough. Let's just make one of them real quick. Should be a little bit easier. It's taken some time this, and I've got to go out in a bit, so I may have to cut this episode a bit short, or I may encode it in the morning, and that might mean it's up a little bit late though. What am I looking for? Nothing that's in there. I want I don't want a receiver dish. What was it bloody called? It's called a transceiver, okay. Wireless transceiver, I want one of them. Thank you. And a button, so I need a bit of smooth stone, which I'll just find manually. There it is. That gets us a little remote control. No, it doesn't. Button, idiot. Button. And that. Excellent. What we can do with this is, if we look in here, shift right click, you can change the frequencies. So if you look 1 through 6 are north, east, south, west, up and down. So this is just temporary. Of course, at some point I want it so that my control is up on the platform I'm going to build on top of this. But for now, if we look at that, it should tell us what it's set to. So it's set to north. So if I hit the remote, there we go, pulls us north. And because I took them panels, them frames off, like I said, the solar panels fell off. So I should have put that back on first. Let's put them guys back. My bag's a bit of a mess. I've got quite heavily into all this. It's taking me, like I say, it's taking me a bit of a while to get it all sorted, but I think I'm there now. This bit was getting me a bit stuck because I didn't have a frame touching that battery box. There, I had jacketed wire running off the bottom of it, so there was actually no frame touching it, so it couldn't be pushed anywhere. I was stuck with that for quite a while. So we're quite high up there. Let's change this to down. And then if we hold that, there we go, that brings us down. Excellent. And I'll send that back up one. So it's not ideal using the remote, but you see it all works, and in fact I'll prove that it all works. Let's go through them all. So north, and then east, and then I'm getting hungry, so I'll eat a bit of food. I'm not trying to put you off or out. So we've got south, works, and finally west. Keep shift clicking. There we go. So that all works, and it's got its own power source, which is kind of nice. So I don't have to put any battery stuff on here. I can just power it straight from that, which is pretty cool. So my next job will be to build a platform on the top. I also need to put some covers on the bottom so it doesn't stick to anything. I'm not 100% sure if I need to put covers on these. If these go down and touch anything, will it stick? If it does, I need to build an extra little bit off the bottom of here. Just to sort that out, like so. Yeah, I think I'll leave that anyway. It looks alright, doesn't it? So I'm kind of getting what I was trying to go for. I was trying to get like a decent shape for some kind of airship. I think it's going to turn out alright. So now what I need to do is I need to turn all these into covers because they're all panels at the minute, and just so I can get under here a bit easier, let's send it up one. So yeah, the plan is I'm going to have this set so that I'm going to have to work out how to do it, but I want to do it so you can stand up on the top here. I'm going to have my crystal core probably over this bit. Actually I might have the control bit over this bit because this is a block higher. Going to have to be a block higher. The crystal core probably at this end then. And I want it so you can just stand in the middle, and then whichever way you step, it'll just keep going in that direction, whichever way you've stepped. Oops. And of course it'll need a button for up and down still though, but it should work. I'll be able to work some out, I think. So what was I doing? I was sending that up one more. And yeah, so what you've got to do is you've got to cover all the outside that's going to touch stuff with covers. Not like that, fool. And then what that does is if I touch anything, anything that I touch won't stick to it now. If I didn't do this, anything that I touch, I'm useless with these bloody things. Anything that I touch would just stick to the frame. So I need to make them slippery. So I understand it anyway. And as I understand it, it's the, oh for God's sake, it's the covers, not the panels, that are slippery. So if I wanted something to stick to this, I'd use the panels. And I've got to cover the whole damn thing. I guess I'm doing it iron. I don't want it magenta, that'll look terrible. 64 more of them. So the bottom of this is safe, so you've got to go around and do the entire thing like this. But I won't do that on camera because that's a bit boring. But I'll do all the bottom just so we can see what it looks like when it's flying along. Frame motors, they run at needs a delay of 0.8 seconds to make them run as smooth as you can. So if you're running it off a timer, if you're running like on my other video, the Red Power Lift, if you're using a timer, you set the timer to 0.8 of a second, and then that runs the best. So that's what the bottom's going to look like as it's plodding along. But the way I'm doing with this, it's a bit weird because it's firing one motor and then the same redstone signal's firing the second motor. So I need to play with the timing a bit as well. So hopefully I'll be able to have all the timing hidden away. I might even have it so that I've actually got a lot of the wiring back at my base somewhere. So there'll be a transmitter sending to these receivers, but that might come from another transmitter, so I don't have to have loads of wiring actually on the thing. So I can keep all my logic down in the basement or something. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this. Well, that's pretty much it for the actual working bit until I work out how to do all the rest. I think I'm going to call the episode there. I think it's going to be quite a short episode. I've stopped and started a lot, but I don't think I've done a lot of actual filming. But like I say, I've got to go out in a bit. So rather than have the episode up late tomorrow, I'm going to get it encoded now so I can start getting it uploaded before I go to sleep. So as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope it was entertaining. I hope I haven't skipped too much. If I have, once I've got this thing completed, if you do want me to see me put all this together from scratch, just let me know in the comments. And I've got a good grasp of how it all goes together now, so I could just rip all this apart and rebuild it, I think. And I can do it with, I could just build it with some music over it and speed it up. So if you want to see me build this from nothing, just let me know and I will do. So yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching. Any likes and stuff really appreciated and helps the channel. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.